So Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming has dropped quite a massive roadmap leak for the next full of 6-year plan for an Assassin's Creed titles. I will leave down links below in the description if you want to read it for yourself, the original piece. But right now, I want to go through it for myself and share my, opinions as well on the individual titles and what I think is going to be going with the kind of different directions and what we can expect, at least in this list. Now, basically, Ubisoft's strategy is to keep Assassin's Creed rolling with 9 more games over the next 6 years. So there's going to be like 2 big RPGs, 3 remakes, 1 smaller Hexe style experience, 2 multiplayer titles, and 1 mobile game. That's pretty a big significant margin. Now they want kind of like a mainline RPG happening every 2 to 3 years, with smaller projects and remakes filling the gaps. It's kind of what they did with the Origins Odyssey and Valhalla, but seems like to be more on steroids. Personally, I think it's an interesting kind of lineup, since Shadows proved people still like these sorts of big RPGs, but it still would be interesting that they didn't slot in more of a traditional smaller budget AC title such as Mirage again. Well, either way, let's jump in. Now, Assassin's Creed Netflix game codenamed Mask was, well, it seems to be canned now. Ubisoft originally teased a Netflix-linked mobile title at the 2022 Assassin's Creed Showcase, but even the Netflix's boss said that he's never heard about it afterwards. So basically at this point, it's RIP. Do not expect this coming anytime soon, if ever. But what we do know should be next upcoming Assassin's Creed title. It is the one that's named, at least codenamed Assassin's Creed Jade. Now this is a China-set Assassin's Creed game that we actually have already heard about. And the thing is, though, it's a mobile game. Now, originally it was also playable at the Gamescom 2023. A lot of people got a chance to experience it for themselves. And now that Tencent, who now owns 25% of shares on Ubisoft Mobile Profits, finally put it back on the track, at least it seems to be. So, kind of like think Odyssey on your phone. Open world, parkour, stealth, all condensed into a mobile experience. Now, unfortunately, we do not know the release date yet, but given how far along it has looked already, I would not be shocked if we get an announcement and then just boom, it's out the following month or whatnot. I'm more interested to see how they'll nail this sort of Chinese dynasties and riverport cities on a handheld. Will be interesting to see how they go about that. Now, Assassin's Creed Invictus, a multiplayer kind of game. So this is a 16-player PvP title inspired by Fall Guys. Now you basically compete in rounds of stealthy obstacles courses and team challenges. And Ubisoft is already penciling in for 5 years of live service support on this game. Now I'm guessing it obviously should be maybe free to play, and since most Ubisoft experiments have been kind of like Roller Championships and Hyperscape and etc., not all of them have stuck around. And personally, this one doesn't exactly has much interest for me. A party game, Assassin's Creed, it's not for me. But hey, I like to be proven wrong and see how this goes about. And, I want to see what other people think about this experience, but actually being as a part of an Assassin's Creed. Next up, we have Obsidian, the next-gen overhaul of an Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, basically a remake. It's rebuilt on this new Anvil engine, the same Anvil engine that uses in the Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now we saw this engine flexed in the Shadows, and now imagine smoother sailing, upgraded naval combat, and a crisp rope dart kills on the modern hardware. Now originally it was actually supposed to be coming sometime presumably late of 2025, but Shadow's delay probably pushed this into the early of 2026. Now honestly, in my gut experience at least, I think that Ubisoft will shadow drop it around maybe November, kind of like Oblivion did, but obviously we'll have to wait and see. I'm definitely looking forward to this Black Flag remake, and it still is fan favorite as well, and they lean into the, this kind of lean towards an open world pirate game. It's gonna be a home run, I'm sure of that. Well, obviously it depends how well they will be able to make it. Now after Obsidian comes Hexe. Actually, it's been mentioned as well as formerly known as Neo. And this one drops when Shadow's 2-year DLC runs end. And then basically Hexe itself gets 1 year support, by the way. It's going to be shorter than usual, but fitting for a more focused game. And they're developed by Ubisoft Montreal's team behind Valhalla and originally steered by the creative director of Watch Dogs Legion. And Hexe promises kind of like a darker witchcraft themes adventure in earlier modern kind of like Europe. No, I'm talking about like a more of a tight linear levels, a call to the conspiracies, maybe a dash of Dishonored style powers turning into rats. It seems that it's been in the development since 2020, and by its holiday 2026 release, it'll be just 5 years in the making, perhaps even the longest AC dev cycle ever. I actually like the idea of this concentrated atmospheric AC game. Mirage showed that smaller scope can still sell these sorts of titles. Another feature that, well, at least interesting fact that this can be the only, or at least so far the only Assassin's Creed game that you will only be able to play as a female character, that there's not going to have a male version of the character or having like a secondary character that will be male. It's going to be pure female character. Now, next is Scarlet, the next massive RPG basically. It's like the codename Nebula behind the scenes, and it's already in production and could launch as early as holiday of 2027, so it's going to be less than 3 years after Shadows. And here's a little bit of a kicker. Inside speculation says that Scarlet, or Nebula, will span 3 distinct settings: ancient India, the Mediterranean, and the Aztec Empire. In Ubisoft Sofia, a long-time DLC and spin-off team, is apparently building this one. They're proving themselves with stuff like Curse of Pharaohs and the Dawn of the Ragnarok expansion, so it's cool to see them tackle a full-fledged AC RPG game. And I'm just saying this, if they weave those 3 cultures together well, this could be the AC of the generation, but obviously we'll have to wait and see. Now after Scarlet, Ubisoft plans a Stardust, that's literally the codename, the second big remake slot. Now entering production once Black Flag Obsidian basically wraps up. So unfortunately we have no word yet on which title this is, maybe Unity, Syndicate, maybe even an original AC for its 20th anniversary for the upcoming 2027, well the 20th anniversary obviously as mentioned. But my bet I think it should be AC1 because we have heard about the rumors on that. Just for the pure nostalgia on that milestone as well, I think it would really work. Now, Remake can still fill space between the heavy weight of RPGs, and Stardust should drop around late 2028 if they start at the end of 2025. Now, again, that depends when this remake of a Black Flag will release. Now, right after the Stardust, Emerald will be arriving. It's just yet another multiplayer live service game with a 5-year plan and potentially to resurrect Raid, co-op PvE basically, or Echoes, massive online tech demo project. Now, rumor is Raid lived on, so imagine like a 4-person AC mission with seasonal loot, evolving objectives, and Animus Hub, kind of like all integrated. Now, if they nail the loop, this could be a gem, but obviously 5 years is indeed a long tail, and I hope that they keep fresh content coming like soon after this release, just a proper live service experience since we are talking about a multiplayer game. And finally, looking way ahead, there is also a third RPG game. It's going to be next big single player after Scarlet's 2-year support window, and after that, including, crazy to think about, I'm talking about yet another remake. A third remake roughly 1 year after this third RPG comes out. No code names, settings, or studio attachment yet, and we're talking like 2030 for this RPG, the third RPG, and 2031 of this third remake releases, which shows Ubisoft isn't slowing down with an AC anytime soon. So basically this is the roadmap. 9 more games spanning the mobile, multiplayer, remakes, RPGs for at least 6 more years. It's a ton, but Ubisoft playing the long goal. And similar to how Call of Duty juggles campaign, multiplayer, zombies, Warzone, and mobile all at once, the key will be obviously be quality and learning from the past launches. Now obviously if they apply everything that they've learned from Mirage, Shadows, and Valhalla right at launch for each title, these games can thrive. I'm most pumped for Obsidian's basically Black Flag Remake, and I'm also very curious about the Scarlet, the triple setting epic. Well, do let me know which one of these AC games that you're looking forward to the most. And with that, thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. See you guys all, and have a wonderful day.